Today we're at Crawley Computer Centre and I'm talking to Chris, one of the technicians who works on all of the iPhones, iPods, iPads and Xbox, PS3, Wii, sat-navs and any handheld consoles. Anything to do with soldering, so Chris is our man. So Chris, can you tell us what you're doing today, what you're working on?
I've got an iPhone 4G here, which has just got a small chip on the screen, so I replace the screen on it.
What do you have to do first then? You have to take it apart, I gather?
Yep. They normally have security screws on the bottom, which is not a standard fitting, or not one that you would normally have in your house. So,
what about reenacting the moment? What would be Amy for the next half an hour? You did say you wouldn't be Amy, though. What video?
make sure you don't lose them.
Gosh, they're small, aren't they?
Yep, and it only gets worse as you get in with the screw sizes. Important to remember, obviously, which order you put them back in as to how you remove them. If you put the wrong screw in the wrong hole, you can potentially go through the motherboard, crack it, split it, and then you would end up with a faulty phone. So I'll start off, I just undo all the screws that I can see.
And they are so small, I can see why you put them into
Yep.
a dish.
So as an example, I imagine you can probably see that.
I'll do a close-up of the next ones, just to show how small they are. And minute, aren't they?
Yep, and then the other thing to remember as well, when you do go in the phone, it does break this warranty screw, which is also used to change colour, so they know if the phone's been wet or not, as with another white pad there.
Show us one of the screws. Oh, 1 minute. That is minute. Absolutely minute. Like an ant. Okay.
And so this top one's normally hooked in place.
So you must have a special way of an order of taking it apart.
I have indeed, yeah. Although when I put it back together I do it in a completely different order. It's memorising where all the screws go. Can be tricky. Okay, little vibrating motor. So some delicate little contacts on here, which you are very careful. Okay, so now I've removed all the screws I can see. Using plastic so I don't short it out.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I only use the metal in certain places, but always using plastic. Okay, so again, another very gentle ribbon cable, easy to tear. In the screw. And then battery. And pop that. A little Wi-Fi connector.
Everything is so minute, isn't it?
Here I use a metal one. Another very delicate little ribbon on there. It's prone to split if not done correctly. Another little Wi-Fi connector, you got to undo it. Remove that. 4 little fingers on there, which be careful don't break them. Okay, and this little top up here is hooked in place. Can be tough initially getting it out. Like that. And then it's hooked under here, so you have to push it out. Like that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ribbon cables all plugged into the motherboard on the top. All generally have to be in place. And you're able to remove the camera.
That sort of
That's
just
the camera. And you think of the quality you get with that HD. Yeah, it's a lot.
so that's the camera then.
Yep. And flash on the edge there.
Very small.
Considering the quality you get from that.
Brilliant. Okay.
And then there's a little double screw. It's a screw that has a thread in it, so you can screw another screw into the top of this one. It's a special type of screw. Okay. This is one of the awkward bits. Get the motherboard out now. You've got that to get around that. Be aware of all these little ribbons here. Okay, so just pop that out. Got a tiny little rubber edge in there as well, which you don't want to lose. Protects the ribbon cables. And you reassemble it. Okay. Now to get the screen off, which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws holding the front one. Screws and washers on the side. Real important you don't lose the washers to them. They're probably the most important part of clamping the screen and just screwing it on without the washer will not hold it in place. So. Okay, just double check that everything's done. And you've got to get in between the screen and the frame. You should just get in there really, really slowly. If you snag the wrong bit behind this, then you could potentially ruin the front camera or the earpiece. Going. Doesn't seem like I'm doing anything.
The concentration.
Let it do its own thing. Okay. So again, a couple of real delicate little ribbons there, got to be aware of. Now it's apart. Also, that home button is hanging on by an absolute hair.
Yeah.
And that's just a little ribbon cable that activates it. Don't want to damage that either. And that's it. And then you're ready to put on a new screen.
Brilliant. So what's the service that you offer then at Crawley Computer Centre? What's the sort of turnaround if I brought my iPhone in to be repaired?
90% of our repairs are all while you wait service. Apart from power problems, which you would need to live with us, which we turn around within 24 hours. All the while you wait services, do an iPhone roughly 20 to 30 minutes. I believe that not rushing is extremely important with these kind of phones. I see a lot of people get them repaired or do it themselves, and bits get broken. There's a lot of delicate stuff in there, and it's an expensive phone that deserves to be treated with respect. You have to respect them, especially all these small screws and ribbons. If you don't put the time in, it can cost you dearly.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Chris.